Hi besties, welcome to Vicky Signature. In today's tutorial, we're looking at how to cut and sew this beautiful shirt you are seeing on your screen right now. I made this Ankara shirt putting 1/2 inch elastic on the waist as a waistband instead of the 1 inch or 2 inch elastic. So if this really sounds like what you are interested in learning, please stay tuned and watch to the end. And can you see that I made use of cargo pocket and also a side pocket. So let's start properly. This is a fabric I'll be using. This is our normal African print fabric. So first thing I did was to start with the front drafting or front cutting. So I'm just trying to place the fabric properly. So for you to do that, you're just going to divide your hip by 4 and add like 6 extra inches. That is this fold that I have. So after that, I'll just go ahead to rule a margin upward to serve as my starting point. Now next thing we'll be doing is we're going to be putting the length of our pants or the length of our shirt. So I'll be removing 2 inches for the band. So when I remove the 2 inches, I'll be having 18 inches because the length of the band is 20 inches. So I'll go ahead to mark the 18 inches there. Then on the down part, I'll go ahead to add 2 inches for folding of the down. So after that, next thing is for us to cut this out so that the pieces will not disturb us. Now next thing for us to do, we are going to measure our waist to hip. Waist to hip I'm working with is 9 inches. I'll just go ahead to rule a line like so. So for my waist to crotch, what I'll be doing is I'll divide my hip measurement by 4 and then add 1.5 inches. So when I divided my hip by 4, I have 40 inches. Sorry, I divided my hip, which is 40 by 4. I have 10 inches. Then plus 1.5 is 11.5. So that is the 11.5 that I am marking right there. So after marking it, next thing is for us to connect it together. Now next thing we'll be doing is we are going to be putting our hip measurement on the hip line properly. But before then, let's mark it. This is hip line. Can you see this is crotch line, and then the down part is a length and the upper part is going to be for our waist. So now let's put our hip measurement properly. Hip is what? 40 divided by 4, which is 10 inches. And then I'll put that same 10 inches on the crotch line. Then I'll connect the line together. I believe you are understanding it. Next thing for us to do, since it's a free pant, I'll be putting extra 3 inches for the free effect. So this is going to be the extra 3 inches both on the crotch line and then on the hip line. Then I connect it together. Now next thing for us to do, we're just going to connect it upward down to the waistline. So next thing for us to do now, on the crotch line, we're going to be doing our crotch extension. So for the front, is going to be your hip divided by 20. So when I divided I have 2 inches. So I put that 2 inches there, then take my little curve and then connect it together to meet the hip line with that curve. I believe you understand what I just did. Now on the waist, we are going to be putting our waist measurement starting from this direction where we marked the line up. So that is the waist measurement I put. Then I'll be putting that extra 3 inches we have been using for both the hip and the crotch. But now after putting the extra inches, you discover that it is not up to your hip, so you have to add more. You can just use the whole measurement so that you can be able to wear it from the down part. So next thing for us to do, we are going to measure all what we have here from the hip down to the extension, then dividing it by 2 for us to mark our crease line or just the midpoint there. Yeah, so once I mark the midpoint, I'll just connect it down. Then what I'll be doing is at the end of it, instead of putting the exact thing we have there, I'll just remove 1 inch from the side, 1 inch, so that I'll just connect the 2 lines to meet the upper part. That is, this one will meet the crotch extension and then this one meets the waist. So I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So after that, on the upper part, I'll add 1/2 inches for joining of the band, and that is all. Then we can go ahead to cut. But before then, let's add 1/2 inch to this crotch part, so that when we are done, when we are joining it, we'll be using the 1/2 inch to join it, but the rest part is okay. So let's cut it properly now. So guys, after cutting, next thing we'll be working with the back. So this is the piece I'll be using for the back. So let's try and arrange it together. It is still almost same thing we are going to fold, but instead of adding 6 inches to your hip, you add up to like 8 to 10 inches, since that one is going to be bigger than the front. Now I've already gone ahead to place the front. So next thing we'll be doing, you're going to do crotch extension for the back, which is going to be your what, hip divided by 10. It is 4 inches. But before then, let's go ahead and rule this line upward. Yes, let's rule the line upward, and then from our hip line we are just going to go in by we are going to go in by 1 inch. We are tracing the front with it, but then on that part, instead of using that main line, we are going to be going in by what, 1 inch, just as you can see me doing like that. You know the back is not straight, so we'll move in by 1 inch and then connect it slantly to meet the upper line that we just went up by. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So now for the crotch extension for the back is 4 inches, so we are going to be marking that 4 inches from that our new line, which is that 1 inch that we went in by. And then for the hip, we just curve it to go and meet the hip there on that same new line that we drew. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So this is me just trying to curve it properly. Can you see? This is me just trying to curve it properly. So there's no much thing to do at the back. It's just for us to take our crotch extension measurements properly and then do other basic things. So on the upper part, I'll be going up by 1.5 to 2 inches to cover the buttons properly. So if you have a big size, you can use 2 inches to 2.5. So let's measure the waist and then put exact same thing at the back. So I measured the front. I think I have about 12 inches or so. So I'll be putting that same measurement for the back. Then I'll connect it slantly, just the way you are seeing the tape. So let's pick our straight through and then connect it slantly. Now next thing we'll be doing is we are going to be putting that 1 inch is that we used while trying to do our crotch extension for the back. We are going to be replacing it so that our measurements will not going to be shortened. So after that, we just connect this downward using 1 inch difference. Can you see? And then on the other hand, we'll connect it down to using 1 inch difference. And that is all for the back drafting or the back cutting. So go ahead and add our regular ½ inch on that crotch part so that we can use it to join it when we are sewing it together. So after that, we are going to just cut the whole thing together. Yeah, so guys, after cutting, let's start sewing properly. But before then, mind you, this is an African print, and you know how the thing is very light after washing it. So I decided to iron hairstay on my own so that it will be thick. If you see the video, you see that the short is very thick. So I'm gonna have to cut hairstay for all the piece. So I'll go ahead to iron it properly and then bring it. For the pocket, I've also gone ahead to cut hairstay, and the parts that need paper stay, I've also cut it. So when I'm done ironing, I'll bring it, then we'll couple it together. So can you see how it is now? It's very thick now, unlike before. So even if I wash it now, the fabric will still be in good shape or in good place. Yes. So for the side pocket, let's place the piece that I cut to sew it down just like so, just the way I'm pinning. This is not the first tutorial I'm dropping on side pocket, so you can search my search my channel to learn how to do a side pocket. So once I sew that part down, I'll stitch top stitch and then place it like so. Our side pocket is almost ready, then I'll do it to the other side. So that is all for the side pocket, and I've also gone ahead to fix the side pocket for the two side. Now next thing for us to do, we join front to front, back to back. So this is this is the front, and then this is the back that I'm trying to join. So next thing for us to do is for us to be placing the front and the back together so that we join the side together. So why we are doing this is for us to fix our cargo pocket at the side properly. So I'll be using 1 inch to sew the side down for the two sides. So once I'm done sewing it, I'll bring it, then we'll take it off from there. So guys, after sewing the side, this is what we have. So let's go ahead and unpin it, remove all the pins, and then we can work with our piece properly. Can you see? So this is me trying to locate where to put the cargo pocket. So I've finally seen it, and then what I will be doing is from the down of the short, I'll go up by 2.5 inches. Can you see? I'll go up by 2.5 inches, then I mark it there. So I'll bring the piece that I cut for the cargo pocket. This is just a simple something. I didn't do the main cargo pocket, but just to give it a little bit of shape, I just do this simple design. So I'll just go ahead and place it on here. I've gone ahead to iron it properly, so it's looking so clean now. I'll go ahead to place it on that 2.5 inches mark we went up by. After placing it, I'll use my pin to secure it properly. This is just like a basic way of fixing a normal pocket. There's nothing hard here because I didn't do the cargo way. But if you want to learn how to sew a cargo pocket, the tutorial is also on my channel. But this is just a simple cargo pocket I'm using. So what I'll be doing is just to place it very well. Then I'll go to the sewing machine and I'll stitch it all around, following the direction of my hand. Can you see? Sew it down like that. Then after sewing it, I've also gone ahead to cut this cover, right? It's just like 7 inches, just the way I cut the other one, but I make sure this one is small, bigger than that one. After sewing it down, I'll place it like this and then sew this upper part. I'll just stitch on it like that, and that is all for the pocket. Can you see? This is what I just explained. I'm done sewing it. There's nothing hard here. So for the rope that is at the side, I fixed that when I was done sewing it. So let's continue from here. So next thing we'll be doing, we'll be joining the center front together and center back together. I believe you understand. Center front and then center back. That's the 2 piece for the front, 2 piece for the back, using our 1/2 inch we added. I believe you remember. Now after sewing that, let's go ahead to sew the laps together. So we just hold the short like this way, and then from that center front that we sew and center back, we are just going to loosen it small, then hold the 2 laps together and sew it down with what, 1/2 inch. Can you see? Just look and follow the direction of my hand. We'll sew it down with 1/2 inch. So that is the part that I am pinning right now. Then on the other end, I'll hold it down and then we also sew it with 1/2 inch. Anything I do to this lap, I'll do it to this lap. Yeah, I call it lap. So let's use our pin to secure it properly. I believe I'm not too fast. Please let me know in the comment section, and if you have any question, you can tell me so that I will take it up from there. Now after sewing the 2 sides, we'll just go ahead to stitch the midpoint together. Yeah, so next thing for us to do after sewing it, let's open it up and then go straight to fixing the band. So let's flip it up and turn the short up. So now this is what we have. Can you see our pockets, our side pocket, and also our cargo pocket? So our short is, should I say, 80% ready? Yeah. So we're going to take the circumference of the waist. So when I took that, I have like 46 inches, right? I had 46 inches. So I've gone ahead to cut this band. It is 4 inches by width, and then it is 4 inches by length, and then the width is the 47 that I measured, right? So I'll go ahead to just pin it around the waist, just as you can see me doing like this. So I'll go ahead to pin it around the waist. Then after pinning it, I'll go ahead to sew it. So guys, after sewing it, this is what we have. Next thing for us is to create our channel where we'll be putting our elastic. So while I was sewing, I left that little opening in order for us to use it to insert our elastic. So on the band, what we'll be doing, I'll be marking 1/2 inch on the top and then 1/2 inch from the down. So on that half inch I'm marking, I'll go to the sewing machine and run a stitch on that 1/2 inch all the way around, like round the short. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'll go to the sewing machine and run a stitch round the 2 lines that I created. Now after sewing that, this is what we have. Next thing is for us to put our elastic. So my elastic is 28 inches, which is my waist, minus 4 inches. So that is the length of the elastic that I have here. So next thing that I'll be doing, I'll insert it using our safety pin and then pass it through the channel and through that small opening we created while we were sewing. So we'll be passing it using the first channel. Yes, we use the first channel first for the first elastic. So I'm trying to fasten it so that it won't take much of our time. So after that, I'll go ahead to stitch it down with 1/2 inch and then draw it inside. Then once I'm done, I'll stitch that part very well. Now next thing for us to do is to insert our second elastic. So the second elastic is not going to be at the middle part, it's going to be at the down part. That is the first elastic at the upper part and then the second elastic at the down part, then leaving that middle part for our rope. I believe you understand what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and insert our second elastic properly. I'm just trying to locate the opening, like where we use. So after that, I've gone ahead to sew it, and then this is what we have. Our first and second elastic is well fixed and the weight is also given already. So what is left now is our rope. So now for us to do that, on the midpoint of the center front, I'll open a part, like go out by 1/2 inch, go out by 1/2 inch. Then once I open this part, I also open the other part so that we can be able to use our rope to pass through it. Now after opening it, I'll make sure I carry my lighter to I'll carry my lighter to secure that part properly so that the thread will not be pulling out. So that is why I'm using the lighter. Yes, some people can also stitch the edge, but then this is what I prefer. So after that, I'll just use my safety pin to pass the rope through. So I created this rope off the camera just for me to sew the elastic, just for me to sew the Ankara all round, so there's nothing hard in the rope. So let's go ahead to pass it through the channel. That is a middle channel. So that middle channel is basically for the rope, just as I've explained. So after passing it, can you see this is what we have? Yeah, this is what we have. So next thing for us is to tie the mouth of the rope. Yes, my apprentice is already admiring the shot. That is why you are seeing different hand. So I'm just trying to tie the edge of the short. So after tying it, I'll use my scissors to cut the excess out. After cutting the excess, I'll also take the lighter to burn it. Believe you understand, I'll burn the excess, not the excess, I'll burn the mouth so that it will be well secured. I believe you are getting me. Now next thing for us to do is to fold the down of the short, and that is basically all for the tutorial. So for this rope, I attached it at the cover of the cargo pocket, and that is all for the tutorial. So I hope you'll be trying this next time, or I hope you'll be trying it soonest. So see you in my next tutorial. Bye.